We're on top of a hill again. Nice weather.
I'm pretty sure by local standards this is a mountain. It is called Mount Ferguson, not Hill Ferguson.
Mount Hill, Ant Hill, I don't care. Stuff. There's stuff here. Stuff that makes weird sounds.
Obviously.
Stuff like this often makes me think about the huge gaps and changes in the human experience throughout history. You know, just imagining if somebody from antiquity or even the Stone Age saw this, they would be so confused. They wouldn't comprehend any of it. Like, what is this?
I have any clue what it does.
I know. I don't know either. But at least it's like we know that, okay, it's something electronic. We know what electricity is. We can understand why this thing moves by itself. And it's interesting to think, you know, if technology progressed at the same rate or even kept accelerating, you know, in a couple hundred or 1,000 years, you know, what might there be that we wouldn't even understand now from our current point of view?
Well, clearly we can't speculate on it, because if we could comprehend it, it wouldn't be exactly that gap.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and then the hello. And then, of course, the other question is, are we going to make it? Because things are not looking too hot. It's, you know, climate...
the most bloody depressing field sometimes.
Yeah, and there's, you know, climate reports coming out saying that if we don't change things drastically right about now, there's going to be very, very unpleasant changes, and people are still denying that that's even a thing, including the fucking president of the United fucking States.
Oh, you have to get the go.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna. But
Nope.
It's frustrating, and it does make me wonder where we're gonna end up. Not in a nice place.
Oh, hell no.
You know, we used to have these ideas of sci-fi utopia in the 80s and 90s.
He started going towards utopia, let's be honest.
Yeah, true. I used to, you know, be relatively optimistic with regards to that. We'll eventually get to some kind of, you know, maybe not utopia, but you know, a high-tech society in which everything just works and quality of life is.
Society. We have an insane level of quality of life for a select range of people.
Yeah, but it's not the Star Trek kind where, you know, everybody has access to, you know, luxury goods and has very high quality of life and all of that, and there's no more problems with scarce resources and pollution and all that. I don't know. At this point, I doubt that we'll ever get there.
This is not a technological issue. Even if we look at the published report, even there we know we technically have the capability to do this. But as it is basically put in academies, I don't know how exactly they said it, so I'm just going to directly translate it from scientists to normal. We're fucked because we'll never politically get there.
And here's a good example. This is not a technology problem. This is a people problem. Here, let me get my backpack off and get this shit off the tree.
Yep.
This is a people problem. This is not something...
This is a freaking national park.
Yeah. Like, why the fuck do people do shit like this?
Because they don't want to carry things.
Yeah. It's just dumb. Stop littering, you assholes. One of the sharp edges. Yeah.
Yep.
I did a thing to the microphone and it was not good. Yeah. So there's a lot of societal issues rather than technological. I mean, we can recycle and reuse things, but people are too lazy to do it. I mean, people are too lazy to put the thing in one bin as opposed to the other. I mean, this is the kind of shit that we're dealing with here.
Well, the thing is, even if everybody recycled, as if that's going to solve anything.
No, of course. It's
This is
just
the problem. This is the field I'm studying. I'm asking people about, did you do something sustainable today? And everybody says recycling, even though we know that is one of the behaviors that has the least bloody impact.
yeah.
But it's one of the easy ones, so everybody does it. But the reason why we see it as an easy one is because we've been socialized into it. It's one of those things, you just do. If you stop thinking about it, if it's a habit, suddenly it's easy. I see this over and over. It doesn't matter how effortful the behavior actually is. I have people that do a shit ton of sustainability actions every single day, and they go, I didn't really do anything today because it's habitual. They don't think about it. And then I have people reporting, yes, I was super sustainable today. I put my wrapper in the right recycling bin as their only sustainable action that entire day.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. Mindset. That's where it's so important, what society in general thinks. I mean, it's not a single entity, but there's still,
Yeah, but there are societal norms.
Yes, so societal norms and cultural tendencies that make people think about certain behaviors in one way or another, and then it can either seem like a big deal and a major inconvenience, or it's something you do. It's like, I mean, who thinks of brushing their teeth as a major inconvenience? Well, okay, maybe some people do. But I mean, it's generally accepted that it's just something you do. It's just a necessity of life. You just do it.
Put clothes on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's a little bit annoying. It can take some time, but we kind of all do it.
Yeah. And this also ties into things that matter a lot more on the grand scale, like, businesses, corporate pollution. That's the main problem.
No, I'm sorry. I'm so fucking done with this entire... Sorry, this is the left being idiots.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Every time we get a report, we scientists actually try to put something out there, and here's a list of things you can do. Somebody, normally with a fucking avocado in the constant Twitter account picture, I'm not even kidding.
An avocado in the picture?
Shit
What?
like that, yeah. Fucking hipsters. Anyway, not the point.
Avocado toast.
Yes, that one. But no, every time there is a list, and often a very good list, and yes, we worked on these things. There is a lot of research behind it. It comes to, no, here's the list of corporations that are doing all the pollution. Don't make them believe you need to change.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck you people. All of us need to do our part.
Yes.
Yes, of course. Corporations have a huge impact. This is very important. This is high level. We need to change how we run our businesses. But that doesn't absolve you of your own fucking responsibility.
No, absolutely not. That's I hate that too when people just say, well, it also ties into this this kind of idea that it's all futile and helpless and there's nothing I can do. We'll just guess I'll die. Play that meme. And I've seen that a lot. There's just this resignation where people are like, well, I mean, we're fucked anyway. And like people know that there are all these problems, environmental and societal and everything, but they just shrug their shoulders and like, yeah, well, there's nothing I can do, so we're screwed. And that means we are actually screwed because nobody does anything. But at the same time, of course, there's still massive problems with large-scale industry and corporate culture and all that. And that is part of the culture. It's a different culture to those people than it is to people like us. Because, of course, different class culture is very much a thing.
Well, obviously, but it's not as if these people that run the corporations don't in their private life also should do exactly the same.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. In fact, they can probably do it on a larger scale.
You would hope so.
Even in their private life. So...
How do we even get around this?
Well, duck under the chain or climb over it, I guess. Oh, or go here. I'm doing the smart thing. That's unusual. Normally, I'm not the smart one. of the two of us. At least that's how I see it. And yeah, so
Yeah, scientist, artist.
yeah. Yeah, a lot of things. I mean, I was going to say a lot of things should change. Well, I mean, things are going to change. At some point, it's just sheer necessity and sheer environmental change is going to change things whether we want it or not. And then we'll have to either adapt or perish, essentially.
The thing is, this will change. This is the problem. We're talking about this as if this is somewhere happening in the future instead of fucking right
It is.
now.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing. It is currently changing. That's the thing. And
It has been changing for a while.
people are too focused on the future. I mean, I catch myself thinking that way. It's like, oh yeah, in the future this and that. No, it's just things are happening right now. It's not just in the distant future.
Nope. Increased heat waves, increased hurricane,
Yeah.
increased drought. What is the biggest issue we're seeing already? Climate change, migration. We
Yeah.
have entire strips of land that are basically becoming uninhabitable.
Yeah.
Where are these people gonna go?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, you have to be just absurdly delusional to deny that climate change is happening. Like,
The thing is,
And-
I don't want to say specifically delusional because
Yeah.
this is a reactance thing.
yeah,
People often do this in self-defense because it is frightening.
yeah,
Because often the way you see it, going back to my own research, where we have the issue, we make people afraid of something, but then we don't show them what they can do.
yeah,
And then
Yeah.
a natural human reaction to that is, well, if I can't do something and if this is really scary, the only thing I can do is basically shut my mind to
Yeah.
it, because otherwise I'm going to shut it down completely from being too afraid of it.
yeah. That's where, of course, mainstream media does a fantastic job, because they just chase after the horror scenarios and the headlines that will catch people's attention, and it's like, we're doomed. Nothing about, can we do anything about it? Can you do something? No, it's just, we're doomed, be afraid, read more.
Well,
Just-
the thing is, even if we have that, what can you do? Because that's exactly the topic I had before, where we get those lists where we tell, okay, these are the things you can do, then immediately we get the other reaction, oh, you don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna flee. Those fuckers are mosquitoes.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Thanks for watching.